We don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do. That's a direct order. Do it now.
He's been put down, ripped off, cut open. Now, he's unleashed. Unleashed. The American insurgency starts now. This is Rusty Humphries, Rebellion Radio.
Well, hi, and welcome. My name is Rusty Humphries. It's Martin Luther King Day, and this is the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. We are powered by the nice folks at Right Wing News. You can see us on Right Wing News. You can also see us at Liberty One TV. Have a lot of great friends and great shows at Liberty One TV. As a matter of fact, I actually drove out from Phoenix to New Mexico to meet with the main man there at Liberty One. And what a great guy, a great organization. And really, if you have a love of America and freedom, and I'm assuming you do because you're watching this, you really should keep an eye on that Liberty One TV. It's going to go places, and I wish them nothing but the best. Kyle has a good question. Why is the mainstream media ignoring James O'Keefe? Oh, that's a good question. And I'm going to play a little bit of that James O'Keefe video coming up in a little bit, too, because it is so important. Now it looks like Twitter. Okay, first of all, we've known that the big social media companies are silencing conservative speech, which is why I implore you to please go and download on your phone, whether it is an Android phone or an iPhone, download the Hear Me Out app. See it right there on the screen? Hear Me Out. Hear Me Out app. Okay? It is one place where it's like Twitter, but you speak. And I know that if I send out a message, you're going to be able to hear it, as opposed to throwing it out here on Facebook or Twitter or any of these big social media companies, and they decide whether or not you should hear it or not. Again, it is criminal what they're doing. Congress is going to get involved, and I think people are going to go to jail or at least massive fines. But you can say, but it's a private company. Yeah, well, you know what? There was a long time I really believed in leaving the private companies alone, and I still do. But we do have companies that have become too big to fail, number one. And we also have companies that have had too much influence on our lives and have stolen yours and mine information for years, have used it against us, and now they think they have the power to control the country and the world, and I say enough is enough is enough is enough. I don't know. What do you think? You think I'm wrong? Let's do some checking in, and then we'll check in with more. We'll check in with more people too. Let's see here. We've got Fernando's there checking in. Leslie checking in from London. Hello, Leslie in London. Robert is in Moore, Oklahoma. Sharon is checking in from Tennessee. John is watching from Rapin Gap, Georgia. Sharon's in Texas. Paul saying hey. Quentin is saying hey, freedom and liberty. Another Paul's in Ohio. Jesse's watching. Hey, Jesse. Chuck is there. Ben is watching. Jane is in Michigan. Aki, or AKI. Hi, Rusty from Finland. Take me to work there. I'm not from any blank hole country, but I still feel like I belong to America the most. Well, go through the rules and do the right things, and we'd love to have you. Paul's in Arizona. Lana is in East Junction, Vermont. Kyle's there. Loretta is in Limestone, Tennessee, and we will get some more of your people again. The latest on if you haven't seen this, because they aren't showing it very much. James O'Keefe, of course, Project Veritas, they do a fantastic job. His latest headlines: undercover video of Twitter employees paid to view everything you post and private sex messages. Where does it stop with these people? It will stop only when you and I start doing something about it. Let's watch a little bit of what James O'Keefe puts up. We're not going to be able to watch the whole thing, but James is always accurate And as much as the left hate him, I've never found him to be wrong or inaccurate. So let's watch a little bit of this here.
We can actually read your DMs.
So all your sex messages and your like dick pics are on my server now.
No shit.
Yeah. All your illegitimate wives and like all the girls you've been f***ing around with, they're on my server now.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna send it to your wife, and she's gonna use it in your divorce.
So if I send someone a direct message, y'all are gonna look at it to analyze it?
A machine's gonna look at it.
It is creepy Big Brother. Like creepy Big Brother. I mean, it's like a level of like it. I don't want to say freaks me out, but it disturbs me.
I've seen way more penises than I've ever wanted to see in my life.
What? DM messages?
DMs, tweets, yes.
Penises?
Lots of dicks.
There's teams dedicated to it. I mean, we're talking at least 300 or 400 people. Yes, they're paid to look at dick pics.
If you go to Twitter for the first time.
All right. If you want to watch the entire piece that James O'Keefe has put out, go to Project Veritas. It's a 10-minute piece and very well done, where he connects the dots and lets you see what it is that's going on at Twitter and who these people are and why they think it's okay for them to look at your private messages, why they think it's okay that they should be able to decide what you see and what you don't see. And I'm not just talking about wieners, and Anthony comes to mind, but I'm talking about conservative messages, why they think they should be able to silence what I have to say and what you want to hear. It's wrong. We've got to continue to expose these SOBs because it's wrong and it's dangerous for our republic. By the way, nobody in the room heard Donald Trump say calling Haiti an S-hole. I'm not positive, but this is what may have happened. Dick Durbin says, I heard blank hole. Trump says, I said Chicago, dummy. Again, I don't know. I do know that Dick Durbin has a propensity for lying. He is a master at it. He is somebody that only cares about the ends justify the means. So it doesn't matter what he says, what he does. He encourages Democrats to lie, cheat, steal against this president or any other Republican, anybody that is a political ally. They don't care how they get it done. They just want to get it done. Now, their latest person, I'm guessing Dick Durbin is going to be a big sponsor of the biggest trader in U.S. history. Nobody has given away more secrets than that dude Manning. I don't even remember his what he used to call himself. Now it's Chelsea. And this idiot, I'm sorry, I'm not going to say idiot. This traitor who cut off his schlong, and I guess that's the only reason Barack Obama actually gave this dude a pardon, now is running for Senate. Wait till you see this ad and tell me what you have to say. Chelsea Manning, greatest trader, biggest trader in the history of our country, running for United States Senate.
I'm Chelsea Manning, and I approve this message.
We live in trying times. Times of fear. Of suppression. Of hate. We don't need more or better leaders. We need someone willing to fight. We need to stop asking them to give us our rights. They won't support us. They won't compromise. We need to stop expecting that our systems will somehow fix themselves. We need to actually take the reins of power from them. We need to challenge them at every level.
Wow.
We need to fix this. We don't need them anymore. We can do better.
Yeah.
You're damn right we got this.
This person thought that since they didn't get their way when they were in the United States military, they actually thought it was a good idea to give away more of our secrets than anybody in American history. And they have the gall, after we did them a favor by cutting off their tiny manhood, and now they want to run for United States Senate. Oh my God! Although I do like the catchphrase at the end. Damn right we got this. That's actually pretty good. And some of what she said, I actually agreed with. You know, there is something going on the left and the right where we can agree, and that is those powerful elites, as they think they should be able to run the country, they can't. They have done a lousy job. Their arrogance knows no bounds, and they need to be removed from office. If you agree, give me a thumbs up. If you disagree, if you think, no, those guys running the country, they're awesome, all of them, give me a frowny face. And have you shared the video yet today? By the way, one of those elites, Senator Jeff Flake, has a video I'm going to play for you in just a minute. Who? I know. Nobody knows who Jeff Flake is, but he's an idiot. Genevilia is watching from New Jersey. Robert is checking in. Timothy is a deplorable from North Carolina. Robert, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. I hope Robert is a troll, probably a left-wing troll. But I just saw this, and I want to point it out because there is nothing in the conservative movement that supports what this sick human being just posted on my page. He wrote, "It's James Earl Ray Day!" Exclamation point. You are one sick bastard. Shame on you. I hope you fry in hell. I really do. Because we don't, as conservatives, as Americans, we do not encourage the murder of somebody based on the color of their skin or their political beliefs. We don't encourage that. Not in America, not Americans. And the murder of Martin Luther King Jr. was a terrible stain on our republic. And my guess is Robert W. Harrison here is probably a lefty. Because usually when you see something that's a pro-Nazi thing or a pro-murderer thing of an African-American, it's usually a leftist pretending to be a conservative because they project their racism and their thoughts on other people. See, what a leftist like Robert W. Harrison is saying, and I haven't had a chance to look at his page. I don't know who he is. I don't know anything about him. I just know he's a sick bastard, and excuse my language. But again, I hope he fries in hell very soon, this Robert W. Harrison, because what leftists do is they go, well, golly, those people on the right are they hate black people, and they hate they're just haters because they don't love Democrat policies. No, we don't love Democrat policies because they're top down. It is the government telling little people what to do. Democrats never are on the lookout for the little guy. They always are on the lookout for how they can benefit for themselves and their party. The Democrat Party is no longer the Democrat Party of the 60s and 70s. This is the Communist Party of the 50s. Shame on you. Shame on anybody that wants to try to put your racist thoughts on me. I'm not racist. You're racist. You're disgusting. And shame on you for trying to put that on the shoulders of nice people who are here watching this show. Do you agree with me? Do you think this Robert W. Harrison is a piece of garbage? Hey, it's James Earl Ray Day. James Earl Ray is, of course, the guy that assassinated Martin Luther King Jr. If you think he's a piece of garbage, thumbs up. Robert, I don't know. I don't know if thumbs up is the right way to go with that. How about comments? I think Robert W. Harrison is a piece of garbage, Rusty. No, we don't hate Dr. King. No, the idea of murdering somebody is not right. Your comments here, I would love to read. Timothy is a deplorable from North Carolina. Mary's in Alaska. William is in Florida. James says, social media dictates what we, the people, see and hear. You're absolutely right. And this is why we stand up. We're standing up. You know, I'm on a number of social media pages doing this show every night, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West, unless I got something else to do. And one of my favorite pages is one called Right Wing News. John Hawkins is the editor of Right Wing News, and he decided over the weekend he's going to shut down the website. Now, not the Facebook page, but the website. Right Wing News was, and you know what, he may say he's going to shut it down. I hope it's temporary. He may be just frustrated, and I understand it, because it's not some big, 300-person organization. It's just a few people who believe in America and love it, and love her, and want to do the right thing, and want to get the right messages out there. And John Hawkins was one of the early adopters, one of the early people in social media who got it. And the idea that because of Facebook and Twitter and these major social media companies, because of them making it more difficult for right-wing news to be seen and heard, that they have to shut the doors, it is, I believe, criminal. Because all of these people had to advertise to get your attention. So now, and what they were advertising for, they were advertising for you to follow them on Facebook and Twitter and these other things. And then Facebook and Twitter say, we'll take your money, but you can't, those people who are going to follow you, we're not really going to let them follow you. We're going to make it hard on them. I think they've got criminal. I think what they've done is criminal. I really do. Let's see some of your comments here about that person who I hope is going to fry in hell. Let's see here. Brian said, let's see here. That guy was a garbage troll. Thank you, Walter. Brian says it's simple moral arrogance. Very sad. MLK was brilliant. Robert is a piece of garbage. Yes, he is. Reagan says, I would never wish death on anyone. Karma has a way of finding its way to these disgusting peoples. Steve says, murder is wrong regardless. Yes. Forrest says, I have never judged a man by his skin, but by his actions myself. And yes, he should. I'm sorry you had some typos there. I can't follow that. Brenda says, yep, that guy's a piece of garbage. Christine, yep, sick POS. Doyle is in Mississippi. Sue says, MLK would be terribly sad about what has happened in our country. He was a great man with a wonderful dream of what America could be. Thanks to our last president, he turned our country into a racist nation. It's sad, terribly sad. That man is garbage. Brian wishes MLK was here today. John says, a friend of mine has been banned for his views on Facebook. What did he say on Facebook to get him banned? Coden says, are we really standing up, or are we just sitting around talking about it? That's a good question. One of the things that I am going to start doing is talking to members of Congress. They're afraid too. Nobody wants to be shut down of Facebook. That could be damaging for your career, especially if you're in politics or me. It's scary to come up here and say bad things about them, but they've earned it. And they lost a whole bunch of money on Friday when the Zuck decided he was going to announce the change to the algorithm. Good, Zuck. I hope you lost $1 billion. I hope you lose $1 billion more until you go back to the idea of freedom of speech. Now, I'm not talking about the SOBs like that guy said, hey, it's great that MLK was killed. Nothing like that. That's sick. That's disgusting. But just because I support Donald Trump doesn't mean I hate you. Just because I support Donald Trump doesn't mean I'm a racist. Just because I believe there should be a wall that protects my nation from criminals does not mean I'm a racist. I don't care what color you are coming across into our country without us knowing who you are. I don't care if you're white, you're brown. I don't care what color you are. I don't care who you are. I don't care what country you're from. You could be from France, Germany, China. You could be coming in from Mexico, Guatemala. You could be coming in from an African country, Australia, New Zealand. I don't care. We have a right and responsibility to know who is coming into our country. And no, we shouldn't just give citizenship to anybody that says, oh, I'd like to have citizenship, and by the way, I'm not going to be a very good citizen. No, up yours. America's the greatest nation in the history of the world, and we have every right and responsibility to keep it that way. And just because douchebags think that they want to get more votes by people that don't really care that much about our country, I'm sorry, they don't need to be supported. Okay. I'm going to play a clip of Martin Luther King, and it is one of the great speeches of all time. It's about 7 minutes. That's a long time on the internet. And I may end it a little bit early if y'all start dropping off. I've talked about this speech, and every Martin Luther King day, I try to play this speech because it's not, I have a dream. Obviously, his dream has been forgotten, and it's been forgotten by the people that are supposed to be the ones that are living it, like Representative John Lewis out of Georgia. I've dealt with John Lewis out of Georgia. I used to do a talk show with in Georgia. John Lewis is one of the biggest racists I've ever met. Wouldn't do my show. I met him face to face. Wouldn't do my show because I was white. Is that not the definition of racism? He'd do every black radio show he could. But me, because I was a white guy, and by the way, I was looking forward to having a very open, honest, non-aggressive interview with him. He went out of his way to not come on my radio show because I was white. That is the definition of racism. Wanting to have something extra and special based on your color. That is the definition of racism. Wanting to have special laws in cities like San Francisco, Chicago, all of these sanctuary cities where we have special laws based solely on the color of your skin. That's the definition of racism. That is not what Dr. King talked about. And as a matter of fact, if our country continues to go down the path that these socialist, communist, racists want to take us down, I believe that Dr. King's day should be eliminated. Not because he said anything wrong, but because the people who are supposed to be holding up the torch aren't living by the words. I don't know, maybe that's too harsh. This speech, what is your life's blueprint? But it's the street sweeper speech. He's going to talk about, I don't want to give it all away if you've not heard this before, maybe you heard me talk about it. But what's great and what's brilliant and what's important about this speech, it's not based on your color. It's whatever it is where your lot in life has led you. Be the best at whatever it is. Be the best you can be. That's the message. And that works for any race, any creed, any color. Let's play some of this speech from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. here on the Rusty Humphries Show.
And that is, what is in your life's blueprint? This is the most important and crucial period of your lives, for what you do now and what you decide now at this age may well determine which way your life shall go. And whenever a building is constructed, you usually have an architect who draws a blueprint. And that blueprint serves as the pattern, as the guide, as the model for those who are to build the building. And a building is not well erected without a good, sound, and solid blueprint. And I want to suggest some of the things that should be in your life's blueprint. Number one in your life's blueprint should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebodyness. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you are nobody. Always feel that you count. Always feel that you have worth. And always feel that your life has ultimate significance. Secondly, in your life's blueprint, you must have as a basic principle the determination to achieve excellence in your various fields of endeavor. You're going to be deciding as the days and the years unfold what you will do in life, what your life's work will be. And once you discover what it will be, set out to do it and to do it well. And I say to you, my young friends, that doors are opening to each of you. Doors of opportunity are opening to each of you that were not open to your mothers and to your fathers. And the great challenge facing you is to be ready to enter these doors as they open. And so I would urge you to study hard, to burn the midnight oil. I would say to you, don't drop out of school, and I understand all of the sociological reasons why we often drop out of school. But I urge you, in spite of your economic plight, in spite of the situation that you are forced to live so often with intolerable conditions, stay in school. And when you discover what you're going to be in life, set out to do it as if God Almighty called you at this particular moment in history to do it. Set out to do a good job, and do that job so well that the living, the dead, or the unborn couldn't do it any better. If you can't be a pine on the top of the hill, be a scrub in the valley. But be the best little scrub on the side of the rill. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. For it isn't by size that you win or you fail. Be the best of whatever you are.
That's the message right there. I don't care who you are. I don't care black, white. It doesn't matter. That's the message. That's the message that Dr. King got out that we all should take away. That's why he's got a day. We all have to take responsibility for our lives. We cannot expect the government or anybody else to do it for us. We have to choose to be the best at what it is that we do, no matter what it is. That's the message of Dr. King. If it's your lot in life to be a street sweeper, sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures. How can you go wrong with that message? Now, see, what the Democrats today would say, well, that's not fair. There are some people with certain disadvantages. Correct. There are. And we can all choose to live our lives as victims, choose to say the government should take care of us or somebody else, or choose to say, I'm going to do the best I can. I hope I do a talk show as good as Beethoven composed music. That's my goal in life. I don't know what yours is. Maggie says Dr. King could really get your attention and keep it up. Yes, great man. Absolutely. Brenda says Dr. King was a good man and would be very disappointed in all that is going on in the country today. Sue says Martin Luther King was a very eloquent speaker. I do wish I'd met him when he was alive. Brian said, incredible conviction. Do not let our government run your lives and take control. Carol says, I believe like Dr. King. What I make of my life is dependent on me. I can't blame everyone else for what choices I make. Sean said, thank you for that. Or Sharon, excuse me. Thank you, Sharon. Mo says, my son has special needs. This is how he is taught in school. No time for pity parties. He never missed a day of work. Good. That's how we make a difference. But it's not what's being taught in schools, maybe in some schools, but it's not what's being taught. Everybody's taught you're a victim. Everybody's taught you've got special problems. We'll take, you don't have to do what everybody else has to do. I fear for our future. And I know that's what the Democrat Party, I'm sorry, I keep calling them, they're not Democrats anymore. They're communists. Nobody wants to use the word communist. It sounds like it's out of some kind of a conspiracy, but you can't tell the difference between the Communist Party and the Democrat Party anymore. They believe in the same things, and not all Democrats. I'm talking about the ones in leadership roles. I'm talking about Bernie Sanders. I'm talking about Nancy Pelosi. I'm talking about Chuck Schumer. I'm talking about these guys that care more about their careers and their party than they do about our country, and shame on them. And we've got people like that in the Republican Party too. Jeff Flake is in Arizona. He's the guy that's not going to run for re-election. Let me tell you something. I've lived in Arizona now, is it 5 years? And I get out, I see people. I have never, ever met Jeff Flake. I've never seen him. I don't know that I could pick him out of a lineup. That's how little this guy cares about his state. Okay? Jeff Flake is a flake. He is a guy that's been in it for himself. He was a guy that did come out and say, you know what, I'm going to be a conservative and I'm going to have conservative values and we're going to build the wall and all of those things, but he didn't do any of it. He was John McCain's little puppet. Here's what Jeff Flake had to say. I want you to see this because I want you to see what a real rhino looks like, because they do exist out in the wild. Look, check out this loser.
You should oppose him when you think he's wrong. Do you think that there is a moral obligation or duty for someone else in your party to challenge him for the nomination in 2020?
I don't want to put it that way, but I think he will have a challenge.
Is it going to come from you?
He'll certainly have a challenge as somebody as an independent, but I think he'll likely have a challenge in the Republican Party as well. I'm not the only one, not the only Republican who is saying, I'm not sure this is my party.
Have you ever noticed the guys who are high up in politics are really sissified, wussified candy asses? Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is my Republican Party anymore. They all talk very soft, and it's a little feminine. And I'll look at the pretty makeup he's wearing. It looks like he's got a little lipstick on. He looks so pretty. Oh, yes. And one of the reasons why they can't stand Trump, because Trump talks like a man. Trump talks like a man. You know what? Men go, and by the way, they keep saying nobody in the room heard him call Haiti or those other countries an asshole. But, I mean, as a man, don't you go, hey, why are we having so many people coming in from crap hole countries? Can you tell me that? Why is it that we're not getting the best and the brightest of all the countries? Why is it we're just getting people that have little education, little money, and they're coming here to live off our country, or they're getting really low-paid jobs at Facebook and Twitter and in Silicon Valley, and they're basically indentured servants. That's what the H-1B visa is. It's indentured servitude to these big corporations. And you know what? It's time to stop them. Oh, but Jeff Flake, let me tell you, it might be time. It's just not my Republican Party anymore. Let me take it back on this jag. Here we go. Let's play more of this idiot.
This is my party. We used to stand for limited government and free trade, free enterprise, and not this kind of nationalist, protectionist.
Oh, I'm sorry. Limited government. When were you for limited government, Jeff Flake? When did you do that? You're in Arizona, and you're not the front line of saying, where's the damn wall? Where are you on that? Oh, well, it's, globalists. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. This is what the establishment gives us as a politician, as a United States senator. And again, I've never seen the guy. I live in the state. I go to political things. It's my job. I've never seen the guy. Continue.
Not this kind of nationalist, protectionist kind of party. And I think that I'm not the only one.
Okay, well, no, you're not the only one, but you are one of the biggest douchebags. I mean, yes, you're right. Your buddy John McCain, he doesn't like it. I mean, by golly jeepers, why? You people who like America above other countries, shame on you. Shame on you. You should be liking other countries just as good. Again, what jerks like this don't understand or don't care, or maybe he profits from it. I know they certainly profit from the H-1B visa. Forrest says, guys like this are the reason to get rid of political parties. Gloria says, give him a dress. He'd look very fabulous. He and Chelsea Manning. Maybe he shouldn't leave office. Maybe he should be able to stick around and cozy on up in a caucus with Chelsea Manning. Oh, Chelsea, caucus with me. Caucus with me, Chelsea Manning. Oy vey. Give me a break. I really do hope that Jeff Flake runs for president against Donald Trump. I hope. I really do. Arnold Schwarzenegger shocked and saddened by an alleged, this just came across, by one of the girls on True Lies says she got assaulted. Huh. Where were these guys before? Oh, I'm on Schwarzenegger. I don't know nothing. I was just there. I didn't know nothing. Baloney. I've been on movie sets. I've been on a lot of movie sets. It's pretty hard to not see stuff like that, especially when you're the star. Now, if you're like an extra or you're way down on the call sheet, you might not know what's going on. But Arnold Schwarzenegger, he knew what was going on. By the way, speaking of a guy that we had so much hope for, did you not hope that Arnold Schwarzenegger was going to be a great governor in California? Go in there, I'm going to be the governor. I'm going to come in there, and I'm going to not pay attention to the lobbyists, and I'm going to go and do the right thing for the people, and I'm going to go and shrink the size and scope of government. And he didn't do it. He was terrible. And now he's become a sissified, wussified candy ass too? What the hell happens? I mean, when you get into Congress, what do they do? Do they shoot you full of some kind of heroin or something and say, okay, now you're going to be a commie, and if you don't if you don't turn into being a communist, we're not going to give you more heroin and you'll die or something? I don't know. But these people sell out, every single one of them. Let's see here. Kat says, oh, don't forget to give Senator Flake some high heels that match his pretty dress. Oh, no. I think he and Chelsea Manning, when they caucus together, they'll be looking very attractive. Mo is concerned about the 2018 elections. Bobby is a troll and a sissified, wussified candy ass too. Wilma says Democrats are not communi. I'm guessing you're saying communists. Derek says, you don't have the balls to read my first message. Derek, I don't have the time to go back and look through everybody's message and read them. I see what comes up. I quickly go through them. I read them. If they're not stupid, I try to put them up. But like, you don't have the balls to read my first message. Honestly, Derek, do you think any part of my life revolves around you? I know there's probably in your mind, yeah, I wrote some message, and that Rusty Humphries, you better read it. If he doesn't read it, he ain't got no ball. No, you're insignificant to me, okay? So if you have something that's interesting, I'm happy to read it. I don't like reading hateful stuff. I'll read it and embarrass you, because I'm not going to have some hateful, racist, most likely written by a leftist thing on the comments without responding to it. All right, let's see here. Forrest says, Rusty, you should start a XXX rated 800 number with that voice. Thank you. Tom says, did I do any military service? No, Tom, I didn't. But my father was killed in Vietnam, January 26, 1969. So I did not have a father. I have been to Iraq, Afghanistan. I've been to Guantanamo Bay 3 times. I've been in war zones multiple times. I've had terrorists put guns in my back on repeated basis. Did I serve in the military? I did not. I wanted to, but my grandmother begged me not to because her youngest son was killed in Vietnam, and she did not want his only son to be killed. I'm sorry if that's not good enough for you, Tom, but that's where I was. Let's see here. Play our game. Oh, Catherine says they tell them you play the game our way or we will ruin you. You can either reap the fortune or have a short-lived political future. Kyle says, thank you for fighting the good fight. Anita says, that's what's wrong with Republicans and Democrats. Instead of working together, they're blaming one another for things that have been messed up for centuries. Yes. Derek says, I hear what you are saying, but you should have had a colored person do what you are doing so people would listen. I'm as far right as you can be. Why should I have a colored person or anybody, African American, Asian? Why can't I say these things? I got to import somebody to speak for me because of the color of my skin? No. That is what we are not supposed to be doing. We do not judge people based on the color of their skin, but on the content of their character. Is that not what this day was supposed to be about? And so I'm going to live by that. No, I'm not going to just import some guy based on the color of his skin to say something. I played Dr. King's speech, and I pointed out where this is good for everybody. Americans. You know, that great thing, I'm going to try to pull it up. That great song John Wayne did, The Hyphen. See if I can find that here. The Hyphen. Okay. There we go. Now, see, sometimes when I play videos like this, we'll get in trouble. But let's see here. I'm going to play this one because this is what Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech is supposed to be all about. This is the power of what the hyphen is, the hyphenated American, African American, Asian American. Here it is on the Rusty Humphries Rebellion.
The hyphen, Webster's dictionary defines, is a symbol used to divide a compound word or a single word. So it seems to me that when a man calls himself an Afro-American, a Mexican-American, Italian-American, an Irish-American, Jewish-American, what he's saying is, I'm a divided American. Well, we all came from other places, different creeds, different races, to form a nation, to become as one. Yet look at the harm a line has done. A simple little line, and yet as divisive as a line can get. A crooked cross the Nazis flew, and the Russian hammer and sickle too. Time bombs in the lives of man. But none of these could ever fan the flames of hatred faster than the hyphen. The Russian hammer built a wall that locks men's hearts from freedom's call. The crooked cross flew overhead above 20 million tragic dead. Among them, men from this great nation who died for freedom's preservation. A hyphen is a line that's small. It can be a bridge or be a wall. A bridge can save you lots of time. A wall you always have to climb. The road to liberty lies true. A hyphen's use is up to you. Used as a bridge, it can span all the differences of man. Being free in mind and soul should be our most important goal. If you use the hyphen as a wall, you'll make your life mean and small. An American is a special breed whose people came to her in need. They came to her that they might find a world where they'd have peace of mind, where men are equal, and something more, stand taller than they stood before. So you be wise in your decision, and that little line won't cause division. Let's join hands with one another, for in this land each man's your brother. United we stand, divided we fall. We're Americans, and that says it all.
That's right, John Wayne. We're Americans, and that says it all. That's what Martin Luther King Jr. Day is supposed to be about. It is supposed to be about bringing us together, not looking at the color of the skin, but the content of the character. And just because the politicians have forgotten that doesn't mean that you and I should. That's what I think. If you agree, please comment. Please share this video. Every night, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West, I talk about the stories of the day that are important. Sometimes it's messages like this that need to be heard more than Trump bad, Pelosi good, Democrats, Republicans. We've allowed the politicians to put their interests above ours. We've allowed the race hustlers to take their positions and put them above yours and mine. You ever sat down with somebody of a different color? Talk to them? I've never had a problem. Have you? The problems only come when politicians get involved because they profit off that pain. That's what I think. My phone number is, you can always send me emails. Rusty@rustylive.com. You can send me messages at my website, rustylive.com. I'll play the messages on the show as well. Have you found my podcast? It's the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. You can find it at iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. And do me a favor, would you please? I'm really imploring you to find the Hear Me Out app. Hear Me Out app. You can get it on your Android or on your iPhone. Download it. It's free. And follow me, Rusty Humphries. Comment. I'll try to follow you. Listen to what we have to say. This is one app and one social media that we know is not censoring conservative speech. It's so important that we are able to get heard. Steve says, disappointing I didn't talk about plagiarism. Paula says, I agree. God bless and keep you, sir. Gloria, let's see here. Gloria, I think, lost her husband to Agent Orange. Sorry about that, Gloria. Kat says, words of truth are the most powerful weapons against evil that we may face at any time. That's why freedom of speech is so important and why they work so hard to control our words. You are correct, Kat. That's it. May God bless you. May God bless America. My name is Rusty Humphries. Thank you for watching. This is the Rusty Humphries Rebellion.